Okay, just been on a 2-hour ride, so that's 3 hours since we last looked at this. Risen quite a bit, so I'm going to take it out of the bowl and I'm going to put it into here using a bit of parchment paper. 2 strips, you'll see. Right. Now we need to see whether this is actually ready and has been proofed properly. So we'll take the Glad wrap off and give it a poke. So let's see, if I poke it in there, does it stay? It stays, it's done. It should spring back a little bit, so this has probably been overproofed because I went biking. Well, what a bugger. So right, now what I'm going to do is take it out and shape it into a ball again and put it into the bowl for its final proof, which is probably only going to be half an hour at the most, and then bung it in the oven. We'll see. Okay, now that we know that it's actually proved, I'll dig it out. It's got olive oil on it, so it's going to come out really easily. As you can see, it's quite light actually. Okay. So what you do here is you've got to degas it. So you want to make it into a kind of square, about a centimetre thick. This is taking all the big bubbles out. And then what you do is you fold the corners into the middle. So do like that, then like that, like that, that. And now I want to make a ball all over again. So I do this bit business. And it's a lot lighter than it was before. So now I'm going to stick it into my bowl. Bowl is over there. Here's the bowl. So stick it in so that you can see it. Where is it? Just like that. And I'll cover it with a tea towel and I'm going to leave it for a little while. One tea towel. Okay, here's the bread, and it's as risen as it needs to be, I think, and I don't have time and I've got to get on with it. So what you could do is, what they say is slash the top of the bread so it doesn't split. Well, my knives aren't very good and I haven't got a razor blade, so I'm not going to do that. I use this pair of scissors. I can't find the actual kitchen scissors, so this is a different pair of scissors. All I do is little snips all over the place. Like that. Quite a lot of them. Sorry, hopefully you can see all this. There's them all. There's all in there, there. Right, and then what you do is you just knock off the tops a little bit because it makes a little kind of jagged edge. Now, another thing that they reckon you should do when you make bread to make it crusty is you put water in there. Not in the bread, but on the bread. Or you can have a dish underneath. You can have a kind of steamy atmosphere, a high humidity to make a crust. Well, if I've got the casserole dish with the lid, that kind of holds the steam in, and if I feel like it, I can actually add some more later on. And I'll do that. So what I'm going to do is I've heated the oven to 430. What's that? About 220, something like that. I don't know. My brain doesn't work at the moment. And I'm not going to do that at the moment. I'm going to put this bread in here in the oven for half an hour. Then I'm going to check the temperature. You need a temperature gauge. And then I'm going to take the lid off, squirt some water on properly, and let it go for an extra 10-15 minutes or something like that. So first of all, I don't need to worry about making it too tight because I'm no good at that sort of stuff. I might actually make it better than that. And then I'll bung it in. Okay, I've given it half an hour and maybe 32 minutes. So now I'm going to check the temperature. So what I'm doing is just taking it out. Shouldn't really need to take it out, but well, my little cuts didn't work very well. As you can see from that, it's kind of split, isn't it? Now here's the temperature right there. Let's see what it's got. Put the temperature gauge in the middle, fairly far down. 128, 139, 149, 67, 70, 73. Okay, it's getting there. Okay, that's kind of hotter than I expected for this time. So what I'm going to do is, got the oven on 430, so I'm going to set that down to 400 and let that go. And at the same time, sorry about that, I'm going to get my squirty gun, and you see, if you look at this, right, this is the thermometer. You can see it's got stuff on it, which means it's not cooked. So I'm going to take the top off. I am going to squirt the bread. And I'm using distilled water. Don't have to. Probably not use whey, but and now I'm going to bung it back in again. Get the door open a little bit to lose a little of that heat, and we should be good. I'm going to put it in for another 10 minutes. Okay, another 10 minutes with the water on top. As you can see, the temperature now is 100, 205, 6. That's plenty. It wants to be over 200, probably 202. So I'm going to do the next one. So no worries. That's the seeded loaf out of the way. Okay, got to take it out. But kind of careful because it's hot.
Do you need help?
No, just grab the paper, pull it up, like so, and then you can whip the paper out like that. Put it on a little grating thing, make lots of noise. So this bowl here is bloody hot, and it needs to have the next one put in. So here goes. Okay, there's the seeded bread. Doesn't look too bad. Risen quite nicely. Split. Yeah, it's got one of those San Andreas faults across the top. There you go. Focus. Anyway, you let it cool down and put a tea towel over it so it doesn't get too dried out.